The Language of Flowers. Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er valleys and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle in the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. Wordsworth. The Rose. Go, lovely rose. Tell her that wastes her time on me, that now she knows, when I resemble her to thee, how sweet and fair she seems to be. Tell her that's young, and shuns to have her graces spied, that hadst thou sprung in deserts where no men abide, thou must have uncommended died. Small is the worth of beauty from the light retired. Bid her come forth, suffer herself to be desired, and not blush so to be admired. Then die, that she, the common fate of all things rare, may read in thee how small a part of time they share, that are so wondrous sweet and fair. Yet, though thou fade, from thy dead leaves let fragrance rise, and teach the maid that goodness time's rude hand defies, that virtue lives when beauty dies. Waller. The sensitive plant. A sensitive plant in a garden grew, and the young winds fed it with silver dew, and it opened its fan-like leaves to the light, and closed them beneath the kisses of night. But none ever trembled and panted with bliss, in the garden, the field, or the wilderness, like doe in the noontide with love's sweet wont, as the companionless sensitive plant. The snowdrop, and then the violet, arose from the ground with warm rain wet, and their breath was mixed with fresh odor, scent from the turf, like the voice and the instrument. Then the pied windflowers and the tulip tall, and narcissi, the fairest among them all, who gaze on their eyes in the stream's recess, till they die of their own dear loveliness. And the naiad-like lily of the vale, whom youth makes so fair and passion so pale, that the light of its tremulous bells is seen through their pavilions of tender green, and the hyacinth purple, and white, and blue, which flung from its bells a sweet peal anew, of music so delicate, soft and intense, it was felt like an odor within the sense, and the rose like a nymph to the bath addressed, which unveiled the depth of her glowing breast, till, fold after fold, to the fainting air, the soul of her beauty and love lay bare. And the wand-like lily, which lifted up, as a Maenad, its moonlight-colored cup, till the fiery star, which is its eye, gazed through the clear dew on the tender sky. And the jessamine faint, and the sweet tuberose, the sweetest flower for scent that blows, and all rare blossoms from every clime, grew in that garden in perfect prime. The sensitive plant, which could give small fruit, of the love which it felt from the leaf to the root, received more than all flowers, it loved more than ever, where none wanted but it could belong to the giver. For the sensitive plant has no bright flower, radiance and odor are not its dower. It loves, even like love its deep heart is full. It desires what it has not, the beautiful. Each and all like ministering angels were, for the sensitive plant sweet joy to bear. whilst the lagging hours of the day went by, like windless clouds o'er a tender sky. And when evening descended from heaven above, and the earth was all rest, and the air was all love, and delight, though less bright, was far more deep, and the day's veil fell from the world of sleep, the sensitive plant was the earliest upgathered into the bosom of rest, a sweet child weary of its delight, the feeblest, and yet the favorite, cradled within the embrace of night. Shelley. O love will venture in, and tune, the posy. O love will venture in, where it door na will be seen. O love will venture in, where wisdom ance has been. But I will down yon river rove, amang the wood sae green. And to pu, a posy to my ein dear May. The primrose I will pu, the firstling o the year. And I will pu the pink, the emblem o, my dear. For she's the pink o, womankind, and blooms without a peer. And to be a posy to my ein dear May. I'll pu the budding rose, when Phoebus peeps in view. For it's like a Baumei kiss o, her sweet bonny mouth. The hyacinths for Constancy w, its unchanging blue. And to be a posy to my ein dear May. The lily it is pure, and the lily it is fair. And in her lovely bosom I'll place the lily there. The daisies for simplicity and unaffected air. And to be a posy to my ein dear May. The hawthorn I will pu, why, its locks o, siller grey. Where, like an aged man, it stands at break o, day. But the songster's nest within the bush I win attack away. And to be a posy to my ein dear May. The woodbine I will pu when the evening star is near. And the diamond drops o, dew shall be her sae clear. The violets for modesty which will she efface to wear. And to be a posy to my ein dear May. I'll tie the posy round w the silken band o, love. And I'll place it in her breast, and I'll swear by above. That to my latest draught o, life the band shall ne'er remove. And this will be a posy to my ein dear May. Burns. My Nannie's awa. Tune, there'll never be peace, and now in her green mantle blithe nature arrays. And listens the lambkins that bleat o'er the braes. While birds warble welcome in ilka green shaw. But to me it's delightless, my Nannie's awa. The snowdrop and primrose our woodlands adorn. And violets bathe in the wheat o, the morn. They pain my sad bosom, sae sweetly they blaw. They mind me o, Nannie, and Nannie's awa. Thou lavrock that springs frae the dews of the lawn. The shepherd to warn o, the grey-breaking dawn. And thou mellow mavis that hails the night fa. Give over for pity, my Nannie's awa. Come, autumn, sae pensive, in yellow and grey. And sooth me why, tidings, o, nature's decay. The dark, dreary winter, and wild driving snow. Alane can delight me, now Nannie's awa. Burns. Their groves, and tune, humours of glen. Their groves o, sweet myrtle let foreign lands reckon. Where bright beaming summers exalt the perfume. Far dearer to me yon lone glen o, green bracken. Why, the burns stealing under the lang yellow broom. Far dearer to me are yon humble broom bowers. Where the bluebell and gowan lurk lowly unseen. For there, lightly tripping among the wild flowers. A listening the linnet, aft wanders my Jean. Burns. To a mountain daisy. On turning one down with a plough, in April 1786. We, modest, crimson-tipped flower. Thou'st met me in an evil hour. For I maun crush amang the stour. Thy slender stem. To spare thee now is past my pwr. Thou bonny gem. Alas! It's no thy neighbour sweet. The bonny lark, companion meet. Bending thee mang the dewy wheat. Why, spreckled breast. When upward springing, blithe, to greet. the purpling east, could blue the bitter-biting north. Upon thy early, humble birth, yet cheerfully thou glinted forth. Amid the storm, scarce reared above the parent earth, thy tender form, the flaunting flowers our gardens yield, high sheltering woods and was mon shield. But thou beneath the random bield, O, clod or stain, adorns the his-tie stibble field. Unseen, alane, there, in thy scanty mantle clad, thy snawy bosom sunward spread, thou lift'st thy unassuming head, in humble guise. But now the share uptears thy bed, and low thou lies. Such is the fate of artless maid, sweet floret of the rural shade, by love's simplicity betrayed, and guileless trust, till she, like thee, all soiled, is laid low I the dust. Such is the fate of simple bard, on life's rough ocean luckless starred, unskilful he to note the card of prudent lore, till billows rage, and gales blow hard, and whelm him o'er. Such fate to suffering worth is given, who long with wants and woes has striven, by human pride or cunning driven, to misery's brink, till wrenched of every stay but he, ruined, sink. Even thou who mourn'st the daisy's fate, that fate is thine, no distant date. Stern ruin's plowshare drives, elate, full on thy bloom, till crushed beneath the furrow's weight, shall be thy doom. Burns. Lament of Mary, Queen of Scots. On the approach of spring, now nature hangs her mantle green on every blooming tree, and spreads her sheets daisies white out o'er the grassy lea. Now Phoebus cheers the crystal streams, and glads the azure skies, but not can glad the weary wight that fast endurance lies. Now lavrocks wake the merry morn, aloft on dewy wing. The merle, in his noontide bower, makes woodland echoes ring. The mavis mild many a note, sings drowsy day to rest. In love and freedom they rejoice, why care nor thrall oppressed. Now blooms the lily by the bank, the primrose down the brae, the hawthorn's budding in the glen, and milk-white is the sleigh. The meanest hind in fair Scotland may rove their sweets amang, but I, the Queen of Scotland, maun lie in prison strang. I was the Queen o' bonny France, where happy I hae been. Fu lightly raise I in the morn, as Blythe lay down at e'en. And I'm the sovereign of Scotland, and mony a traitor there. Yet here I lie in foreign lands, and never-ending care. But as for thee, thou false woman, my sister and my fay, grim vengeance, yet, shall whet a sword, that through thy soul shall gie. The weeping blood in woman's breast was never known to thee, nor balm that draps on wounds of woe, frae woman's pitying ee. My son, may kinder stars upon thy fortune shine, and may those pleasures gild thy reign that ne'er wad blink on mine. God keep thee frae thy mother's fays, or turn their hearts to thee. And where thou meet'st thy mother's friend, remember him for me. Oh, soon, to me, may summer suns nae mair light up the morn, nae mair, to me, the autumn winds wave o'er the yellow corn. And in the narrow house, O death, let winter round me rave, and the next flowers that deck the spring bloom on my peaceful grave. Burns. Red and white roses. Read in these roses the sad story of my hard fate, and your own glory. In the white you may discover the paleness of a fainting lover, in the red the flames still feeding On my heart with fresh wounds bleeding. The white will tell you how I languish. And the red express my anguish. The white my innocence displaying. The red my martyrdom betraying. The frowns that on your brow resided. Have those roses thus divided? Oh! Let your smiles but clear the weather. And then they both shall grow together. KQ. Sonnet. Sweet is the rose, but grows upon a brae. Sweet is the juniper, but sharp his bough. Sweet is the eglantine, but pricketh near. Sweet is the fir bloom, but his branch is rough. Sweet is the cypress, but his rind is tough. Sweet is the nut, but bitter is his pill. Sweet is the broom flowera, but yet sour enough. And sweet is moly, but his root is ill. So every sweet with sour is temperate still. That mocketh it be coveted the more. For easy things that may be got at will. Most sorts of men do set but little store. Why then should I account of little pain? That endless pleasure shall unto me gain. Spenser. To primroses. Filled with morning dew. Why do ye weep, sweet babes? Can tears speak grief in you? Who were but born just as the modest morn teemed her refreshing dew? Alas! Ye have not known that shower that mars a flower, nor felt the unkind breath of a blasting wind. Nor are ye worn with years, or warped as we, who think it strange to see such pretty flowers, like to orphans young, speaking by tears before ye have a tongue. Speak, whimpering younglings, and make known the reason why ye droop and weep. Is it for want of sleep, or childish lullaby, or that ye have not seen as yet the violet, or brought a kiss from that sweetheart to this? No, no. This sorrow shown by your tears shed would have this lecture read, that things of greatest, so of meanest worth, conceived with grief are, and with tears brought forth. Herrick. A red, red rose. Tune, Wishaw's favorite. Oh, my love's like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love's like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass. So deep in hive am I. And I will love thee still, my dear. Till the seas gang dry. Till the seas gang dry, my dear. And the rocks melt the sun. I will love thee still, my dear. While the sands, o life shall run. And fare thee weel, my only love. And fare thee weel a while. And I will come again, my love. Though it were 10,000 mile. Burns. Virgins promised when I died that they would each primrose tide duly, morn and evening, come, and with flowers dress my tomb. Having promised, pay your debts, maids, and here strew violets. Robert Herrick. Music, when soft voices die, vibrates in the memory. Odors when sweet violets sicken. Love within the sense they quicken. Rose leaves, when the rose is dead, are heaped for the beloved's bed. And so thy thoughts when thou art gone. Love itself shall slumber on. Shelley. Radiant sister of the day. Awake. Arise. And come away. To the wild woods and the plains. To the pools where winter reigns. Image all their roof of leaves. Where the pine its garland weaves. Of sapless green, and ivy dun. Round stems that never kiss the sun. Where the lawns and pastures be. And the sandhills of the sea. Where the melting hoarfrost wets. The daisy star that never sets. And windflowers and violets. Which yet join not sent to hue. Crown the pale year weak and new. When the night is left behind. In the deep east, dim and blind. And the blue moon is over us. And the multitudinous billows murmur at our feet. Where the earth and ocean meet. And all things seem only one. In the universal sun. P. B. Shelley. To daffodils. Fair daffodils, we weep to see. You haste away so soon. As yet, the early rising sun has not attained its noon. Stay, stay. Until the hastening day has run. But to the even song. And having prayed together, we will go with you along. We have short time to stay as you. We have as short a spring. As quick a growth to meet decay. As you or anything. We die. As your hours do, and dry away. Like to the summer's rain. Or as the pearls of morning's dew. Ne'er to be found again. Robert Herrick. Constancy. Lay a garland on my hearse. Of the dismal yew. Maidens willow branches bear. Say, I died true. My love was false, but I was firm. From my hour of birth. Upon my buried body lie. Lightly, gentle earth. Samuel Fletcher. Mourn, ilka grove the cushat kens. Ye Hazelly shaws and briery dens. Ye bunnies, wimplin down your glens. Why, Todlin din. Or foaming strang, why, hasty stens. Fray lin to lin. Mourn little harebells o'er the lea. Ye stately foxgloves fair to see. Ye woodbines hanging bonnily. In scented bowers. Ye roses on your thorny tree. The first flores. At dawn, when every grassy blade droops with a diamond at his head. At even, when beans their fragrance shed. Rustling gale. Ye mawkins widden through the glade. Come join my wail. Morn, spring, thou darling of the year. Ilk cowslip cup shall keep a tear. Thou, simmer, while each corny spear shoots up its head. Thy gay, green, flowery tresses sheer. For him that's dead. Thou, autumn, why, thy yellow hair in grief thy sallow mantle tear. Thou, winter, hurling through the air the roaring blast. Wide o'er the naked world declare the worth we've lost. Burns. To the small celandine. Pansies, lilies, kingcups, daisies. Let them live upon their praises. Long as there's a sun that sets. Primroses will have their glory. Long as there are violets. They will have a place in story. There's a flower that shall be mine. 'Tis the little celandine. Ere a leaf is on the bush. In the time before the thrush has a thought about her nest. Thou wilt come with half a call. Spreading out thy glossy breast. Like a careless prodigal. Telling tales about the sun. When we've little warmth, or none. Comfort have thou of thy merit. Kindly unassuming spirit. Careless of thy neighborhood. Thou dost show thy pleasant face. On the moor, and in the wood. In the lane, there's not a place. Howsoever mean it be. But, 'tis good enough for thee. Ill befall the yellow flowers. Children of the flaring hours. Buttercups that will be seen. Whether we will see or no. Others, too, of lofty mien. They have done as worldlings do. Taken praise that should be thine. Little, humble celandine. Prophet of delight and mirth. Ill requited upon earth. Herald of a mighty band. Of a joyous train ensuing. Serving at my heart's command. Tasks that are no tasks renewing. I will sing, as doth behove. Hymns in praise of what I love. Wordsworth. To blossoms. Fair pledges of a fruitful tree. Why do ye fall so fast? Your date is not so past. but you may stay yet here a while. To blush and gently smile. And go at last. What, were you born to be? An hour or half's delight. And so to bid good night? 'Twas pity nature brought ye forth. Merely to show your worth. And lose you quite. But you are lovely leaves, where we may read, how soon things have their end, though ne'er so brave. And after they have shown their pride, like you, awhile, they glide into the grave. Herrick. The lily and the rose. The nymph must lose her female friend, if more admired than she. But where will fierce contention end, if flowers can disagree? Within the garden's peaceful scene appeared two lovely foes, aspiring to the rank of queen, the lily and the rose. The rose soon reddened into rage, and, swelling with disdain, appealed to many a poet's page, to prove her right to reign. The lily's height bespoke command, a fair imperial flower. She seemed designed for Flora's hand, the scepter of her power. This civil bickering and debate the goddess chanced to hear, and flew to save, ere yet too late, the pride of the parterre. Yours is, she said, the nobler hue, and yours the statelier mien. And, till a third surpasses you, let each be deemed a queen. Thus, soothed and reconciled, each seeks the fairest British fair. The seat of empire is her cheeks. They reign united there. Cooper. The wallflower. Why this flower is now called so? List, sweet maids, and you shall know. Understand this firstling was once a brisk and bonny lass, kept as close as Danae was, who a sprightly springald loved, and to have it fully proved, up she got upon a wall, tempting down to slide withal. But the silken twist untied, so she fell, and, bruised, she died. Jove, in pity of the deed, and her loving, luckless speed, turned her to this plant we call now the flower of the wall. Herrick. The primrose. Ask me why I send you here, this firstling of the infant year. Ask me why I send to you this primrose all bepearled with dew. I straight will whisper in your ears, the sweets of love are washed with tears. Ask me why this flower doth show so yellow, green, and sickly too. Ask me why the stalk is weak and bending, yet it doth not break. I must tell you, these discover what doubts and fears are in a lover. Carew. Adonis sleeping. In midst of all, there lay a sleeping youth, of fondest beauty. Sideway his face reposed on one white arm, and tenderly unclosed by tenderest pressure, a faint damask mouth to slumbery pout, just as the morning south disparts a dew-lipped rose above his head. For lily stalks did their white honors wed to make a coronal, and round him grew all tendrils green, of every bloom and hue, together intertwined and trammelled fresh. The vine of glossy sprout, the ivy mesh, shading its Ethiop berries, and woodbine, of velvet leaves, and bugle blooms divine. Hard by stood serene cupids watching silently. One, kneeling to a lyre, touched the strings, muffling to death the pathos with his wings. And, ever and anon, uprose to look at the youth's slumber, while another took a willow bough, distilling odorous dew, and shook it on his hair. Another flew in through the woven roof, and fluttering wise rained violets upon his sleeping eyes. Keats. Madonna, wherefore hast thou sent to me sweet basil and mignonette, embleming love and health, which never yet in the same wreath might be? Alas, and they are wet. Is it with thy kisses or thy tears? For never rain or dew such fragrance drew from plant or flower, the very doubt endears my sadness ever new. The sighs I breathe, the tears I shed, for thee. P. B. Shelley. There grew pied windflowers and violets. Daisies, those pearled arcturi of the earth. The constellated flowers that never set. Faint oxlips, tender bluebells, at whose birth the sod scarce heaved. And that tall flower that wets its mother's face with heaven-collected tears. When the low wind, its playmate's voice, it hears. And in the warm hedge grew lush eglantine, green cowbind and the moonlight-colored may, and cherry blossoms, and white cups, whose wine was the bright dew yet drained not by the day. And wild roses, and ivy serpentine, with its dark buds and leaves, wandering astray. And flowers azure, black, and streaked with gold, fairer than any wakened eyes behold. And nearer to the river's trembling edge, there grew broad flag flowers, purple pranked with white. And starry river buds among the sedge. And floating water lilies, broad and bright, which lit the oak that overhung the hedge with moonlight beams of their own watery light. And bulrushes, and reeds of such deep green, as soothed the dazzled eye with sober sheen. P. B. Shelley. Fade, flores. Fade, nature will have it so. 'Tis but what we must in our autumn do. And as your leaves lie quiet on the ground, the loss alone by those that loved them found, so in the grave shall we as quiet lie, missed by some few that loved our company. But some so like to thorns and nettles live, that none for them can, when they perish, grieve. Waller. Arrangement of a bouquet. Here damask roses, white and red, out of my lap first take I, which still shall run along the thread. My chiefest flower this make I. Amongst these roses in a row, next place I pinks in plenty. These double pansies then for show. And will not this be dainty? The pretty pansy then I'll tie, like stones some chain enchasing. And next to them, their near ally, the purple violet placing. The curious choice clove July flower, whose kind height the carnation, for sweet nest of most sovereign power, shall help my wreath to fashion, whose sundry colors of one kind, first from one root derived, them in their several suits I'll bind. My garland so contrived, a course of cowslips then I'll stick, and here and there, though sparely, the pleasant primrose down I'll prick, like pearls that will show rarely. Then with these marigolds I'll make my garland somewhat swelling. These honeysuckles then I'll take, whose sweet shall help their smelling. The lily and the fleur-de-lis, for color much contending, for that I them do only prize. They are but poor in scenting. The daffodil most dainty is, to match with these in meetness. The columbine compared to this, all much alike for sweetness. These in their natures only are fit to emboss the border. Therefore I'll take especial care to place them in their order. Sweet williams, campions, sops in wine, one by another neatly. Thus have I made this wreath of mine, and finished it featly. Nicholas Drayton. The cherry. There is a garden in her face, where roses and white lilies grow. A heavenly paradise is that place, wherein all pleasant fruits do grow. There cherries grow that none may buy, till cherry ripe themselves do cry. Those cherries fairly do enclose, of orient pearl a double row, which, when her lovely laughter shows, they look like rosebuds filled with snow. Yet them no peer nor prince may buy, till cherry ripe themselves do cry. Her eyes like angels watch them still. Her brows like bended bows do stand, threatening with piercing frowns to kill all that approach with eye or hand. These sacred cherries to come nigh, till cherry ripe themselves do cry. Richard Allison. The garland. The pride of every grove I chose. The violet sweet and lily fair. The dappled pink and blushing rose. To deck my charming Chloe's hair. At morn the nymph vouchsafed to place upon her brow the various wreath. The flowers less blooming than her face. The scent less fragrant than her breath. The flowers she wore along the day. And every nymph and shepherd said that in her hair they looked more gay than glowing in their native bed. Undressed, at evening, when she found their odors lost, their colors past, she charmed her look, and on the ground her garland and her eye she cast. That eye dropped scents distinct and clear, as any muse's tongue could speak, when from its lid a pearly tear ran trickling down her beauteous cheek, dissembling what I knew too well. My love. My life. Said I, explain this change of humor. Pray thee tell. That falling tear. What does it mean? She sighed, she smiled, and to the flowers pointing, the lovely moralist said, see, friend, in some few fleeting hours, see yonder, what a change is made. Ah me! The blooming pride of May and that of beauty are but one. At morn both flourish bright and gay. Both fade at evening, pale, and gone. At dawn poor Stella danked and sung. The amorous youth around her bowed. At night her fatal knell was rung. I saw and kissed her in her shroud. Such as she is, who died today. Such I, alas, may be tomorrow. Go, Damon, bid thy muse display the justice of thy Chloe's sorrow. Prior to the virgins, to make much of time. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Old time is still a-flying. And this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. The glorious lamp of heaven, the sun, the higher he's a-getting, the sooner will his race be run, and nearer he's to setting. That age is best, which is the first, when youth and blood are warmer. But being spent, the worse and worst times will succeed the former. Then be not coy, but use your time. And while ye may, go marry. For having lost but once your prime, you may forever tarry. Robert Herrick. Song of May Morning. Now the bright morning star, day's harbinger, comes dancing from the east, and leads with her the flowery May, who from her green lap throws the yellow cowslip, and the pale primrose. Hail, bounteous May, that dost inspire mirth, and youth, and warm desire. Woods and groves are of thy dressing. Hill and dale doth boast thy blessing. Thus we salute thee with our early song, and welcome thee, and wish thee long. Milton. Among the myrtles as I walked, love and my sight thus intertalked. Tell me, said I, in deep distress, where I may find my shepherdess. Thou fool, said love, know'st thou not this? In everything that's sweet she is. In yond carnation go and seek. There thou shalt find her lips and cheek. In that enamelled pansy by. There thou shalt have her curious eye. In bloom of peach and rose's bud. There waves the streamer of her blood. 'Tis true, said I. And thereupon I went to pluck them one by one, to make of parts an union. But on a sudden all were gone. At which I stopped, said love, these be the true resemblance of thee. For as these flowers, thy joys must die. And in the turning of an eye. And all thy hopes of her must wither. Like those short sweets here knit together. Robert Herrick. Fragment, in Witherspoon's. Collection of Scotch songs. Tune, Hughie Graham. O gin my love were yon red rose that grows upon the castle wa, and I missile a drap o' dew into her bonny breast to fa. Oh, there beyond expression blessed, I'd feast on beauty at the night, sealed on her silk soft folds to rest, till flayed awa by Phoebus' light. Oh, were my love yon lilac fair, why, purple blossoms to the spring, and I, a bird to shelter there, when wearied on my little wing. How I wad mourn, when it was torn by autumn wild, and winter rude. But I wad sing on wanton wing, when youthful May its bloom renewed. These stanzas were added by Burns. The daisy. Of all the flowers in the mead, then love I most these flowers white and reed. Sock that men callan daisies in our town. To him I have so great affection. As I said erst, when comin' is the Mai, that in my bed there doth me no day, that I am up and walking in the mead, to see this flower ianst the sun spread. One it up riseth early by the morrow. That blissful sight softeneth all my sorrow. Chaucer. Illustrations. Page. A acacia friendship. B bladder nut tree frivolity. Amusement. C cowslip, American divine beauty. You are my divinity. D dead leave sadness. Enchanter's nightshade witchcraft. Sorcery. F fig marigold idleness. G grape, wild charity. H hyacinth sport. Game. Play. I Indian jasmine, ipomea, attachment. Jacob's ladder come down. K Canidia mental beauty. L larkspur, purple naughtiness. M moss maternal love. N nettle tree concert. O Osmunda dreams. P periwinkle, blue early friendship. Queen's rocket you are the queen of coquettes. Fashion. R rose love. S southernwood jest. Bantering. T thrift sympathy. V Veronica fidelity. W wood sorrel joy. Maternal tenderness. X xeranthemum cheerfulness under adversity. Y u sorrow. Z zephyr flower expectation.